All right, today we're going to be installing a brand new master cylinder into this machine, and we're also going to adjust the brake pads because I think there's quite a bit of travel in the pedal in this machine. So we're going to get this put in. We're going to adjust all four of the brakes all the way around, and then hopefully this thing will be good to go for our next run, which is going to be here in just a couple of days. And we want this thing up and running and ready to go. So let's get to work. First thing we're going to do is pull the old master cylinder, and then we'll need to bench bleed this guy, get it all set up, ready to get reinstalled back in there, and then we'll bleed the brake system. Then we'll adjust all the pads. We'll show you how to do that. So I hope you guys enjoy. All right, so the only way to access our master cylinder is right under here. Let's get this light going. All right, there's our master cylinder, the one we're going to replace. We'll get these hoses disconnected. We'll unhook all the brake lines. Then everything on the backside will be free. After that, we've got to go to the inside here, and there are going to be two bolts kind of right under this piece of rubber that you see here. We'll get those unbolted, and then that will release the master cylinder. We'll get it pulled out and start getting the new one ready. We'll still have to bench bleed the new one and then get it installed. So let's get to it. So I've disconnected the electrical lines to the brake light switch that is screwed into this. And I just need to get the lines that run to each of the brakes disconnected. Shouldn't take too terribly long, but this is not exactly the easiest area to be working in. And that's partially because of the way we're set up with this buggy. Oh, it helps if I turn the lines the right way. And actually, before I get too far on this, I need to drain the brake reservoir. So that way when I disconnect these lines, it's not just going to dump brake fluid all over the place, because that's just going to make a mess. Hopefully this is big enough. I need to grab a screwdriver. That one might be a little much. That one there might work. These have got hose clamps on these lines here. And we are going to disconnect those. Now I do expect these hoses to be a little brittle, just because they are quite old since we put this master cylinder in here. Probably, it's been quite a while ago. I'm hesitant to even give you a number, just because I'm really not 100% sure how long it's been since we put this master cylinder in. But this is definitely one that we put in back when we first got this machine. We had quite a few issues with the brake system, so we had to do some troubleshooting, and we did end up finding a leak in this system. Oh, this is going to be a mess, isn't it? This is definitely a tight area. Okay, the hose clamps are out of the way. Now the trick is going to be popping these hoses off without making too much of a mess. And ooh, this might be difficult. These hoses do not want to come off. What's going on here? Come on. That hurt. Jesus. Oh, come on. It's kicking my butt. Almost. Really? Okay. I'll go for the other one. I might need a bigger screwdriver. These things definitely in there good. Okay, well, I know you guys can't see a whole lot, so I'm going to get the rest of that out of there, and then we'll come back and I'll show you guys what we accomplished. Okay, so now I have got everything on that master cylinder disconnected. And so the next thing we've got to do is go underneath here. You can kind of see I got a light set up there. We're going to go under there, and there's going to be 2 long bolts. Those 2 bolts will bolt into this flange right here, grab here and here. And then this is where your pedal push rod goes for the new master cylinder. So we're going to get that unhooked, and then we'll be able to pull that whole thing out. Now, me personally, I find it easier on this machine to come from the passenger side. Get some of this stuff out of my way here. So we'll come from the passenger side, and there's going to be a couple of bolts here. So we'll get this, we'll try and get this first one undone. Assuming I can get my socket on it. Come on. Uh-oh, what's going on here? There we go. Now these are, not that they're long-winded, but they are fairly long bolts. So they do take a little bit to get out. Let me see if I can turn that one by hand. Here we go. All right, there's one. We'll try and get over here to this other one, which is right here. Let's see if I can get on it. Okay, so now this second one is why I brought an extension over. Sometimes this guy's easier to get if you've got an extension. Where is it? There it is. If I can see it. All right, let's move our light here a little bit. Maybe. No, what's going on here? Okay, I got a little swivel I'm gonna throw on here, kind of help me. See, that bolt is kind of behind the throttle pedal here. So it can be a real bugger to get on it. Come on. What is your malfunction? I'm struggling here. How did I had this thing out? Okay. Well, let's try an open end wrench. I believe that is a 12 millimeter. So we're gonna grab a 12 out of our toolbox here. That's a 12? Yeah, that's a 12. I think that was a 12. Yeah, it's a 12. So let's see if we can get this guy on it. No? Are these different sizes? Huh. Okay. We'll try a 13 then. I got that one side out with no problems, and now I can't seem to get a wrench on this one. Okay, we got her to move. See if we can twist her by hand yet. Nope. So we're gonna grab a 13 ratcheting wrench. That's what we'll do. 13 right there. This should make this at least a little better. Turn it by hand yet? Nope. Sure can't. So we'll have to do this the long way, it seems like. Okay, now I can turn it by hand. All right. That is both of them out. We'll turn this light off for now. All right. Let's get this master cylinder out of here. Maybe right there. So now, this guy, yeah, comes right out. Look at that. That is the old master cylinder. So we're going to pull this switch. We'll just leave this one. We'll plug that hole on the other master cylinder. But for the time being, we're going to set her down there. I need to get so the next thing we got to do is we've got to bench bleed this one. We're gonna pull the plugs out. We're gonna mock up a little reservoir of some kind, and then we'll bench bleed this guy, get all the air out of it, so it will be ready to reinstall. And then we can go on to start adjusting brakes. All right, I'm gonna get that set up. We'll be back with you shortly. Okay, so I have it all set up here. Got some plugs in, except for I've got this one loose, this one's out. And I am just slowly feeding a little bit of brake fluid into it and allowing all the bubbles and everything to run out of it. Because I want this guy to be nice and full and ready to go when I install it. Whoa, see? And that's exactly why we do that. So that means that that side is probably pretty decent. But we're gonna just try and be real gentle about this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna work out nicely, I think. So the instructions tell you to kind of add a little bit, let it sit, give it about 15 minutes or so, and then give it a little bit of movement. We want to get all the air out of this guy. So we're just going to let it continue to breathe, let the bubbles come out. Move it here just a tad. Oh yeah, that's getting the air bubbles out of it, which is what we want. We want this guy full of nothing but brake fluid. So we're just gonna let her sit there for a few minutes, and we're gonna keep kind of massaging it a little bit and let all the air get out of this thing. That'll just make bleeding the brakes once I get it installed that much easier. And they always tell you to bleed these things first. Yeah, that's looking good. I just want to, yeah, see that? Instantly started coming out. So we're gonna tighten that guy up just a tad there. And we're gonna let this thing sit and get all the air bubbles out of it. We're gonna give it just a little movement here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see bubbles coming out whenever I move it, which is good. We want to get the air bubbles out of this. That's our entire goal of bench bleeding this, is to get as much air out of it as we can. So I'm going to let it sit here for just a couple of minutes, and then I'll repeat the process, and then we'll be ready to install. All right. I have spent some time getting this thing here bench bled, and I believe it is ready to go back in. So here we go. Can't quite see what I'm doing. Can I go up here with this? Somehow that'll work. Okay. Ooh, can I? So this is definitely going to be the tricky part here. Because I don't know. Can I reach all the way around? Ooh, I think I can. I got to do it all by feel. Now I'm completely lost here. Okay. Oh, I need to be over here. That's what the problem is. I guess I can't see what I'm doing at all. Ah. You know, when I took it out, I did it from the passenger side. Aha! I got it. Okay, I got both of them started. Okay, now I think I can go to the wrench here. It's kicking my butt. Someday I'll get it. Okay, looks like I'm just gonna have to go around. All right, master cylinder successfully installed. Well, not fully. I still gotta hook up all the lines, and then we gotta re-bleed probably the whole system just to be safe. But there we go. It is now mounted inside. Hang on a second, let me set this stuff down. And I'll bring you in here. It is in there. All hard mounted. I'm gonna start pulling plugs and plugging in lines and get the reservoir hooked back up, refill the reservoir, and then we'll be ready to start bleeding. All right, I'm gonna work on that and we'll be right back. Okay, so I have gone around and adjusted all of the brake pads inside the cylinders. Now there's 2 gears in there that you gotta adjust. I don't remember if I said those earlier. You do the first gear, you spin it one way, you go to the other gear, you spin it the other way. You gotta just kind of look at it, figure out which way is which. Now, let's check the pedal here again. Back down here. So, I definitely got pedal back. I still feel like I got a lot of pedal movement there, but now it feels like I'm actually doing something. So, next thing to do is gonna be put the wheels back on it, take it for a test drive, and see how it feels. And then maybe I might need to do some more adjustment after that. Might have to bleed them a little bit more. I bled them until I wasn't noticing any air coming out of it, but you know, it always seems to be a struggle. But once you do get these brakes dialed in, they work really well. Super happy with it. But until then, I'm gonna put wheels on this thing, take it for a test drive. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button. If you got any questions, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right, thanks.